good morning or evening, depending on what part of the sphere called Earth you are watching us participating in this from. Welcome to Sojourn Grace Collective. Love that you're here with us this morning. This is our virtual live stream church service. And we love that you're here. We love that you're here. Last night, Kate and I were up at the Angels, and we were at a show, a Sarah Silverman and Friends show. And can I tell them what one of my favorite, or do you want to tell them what one of my favorite parts of the show was as it pertains to this moment right here?
Oh, no, you go ahead.
So one of my favorite parts was as the beginning of the show, Sarah just walks out on stage, gets up to the microphone, welcomes everybody, and then explains what's about to come. She basically did a cold open, which, as you all know, is just one of my favorite things. Like, hey, welcome. Here's all the things that are going to happen today.
She was like, I know that you need me to run you through what's about to happen. So you're going to get about 15 minutes of this, and then you're going to get about 15 minutes of that, and then you're going to get about 30 minutes of this.
It was great.
And I looked over at Colby, and he's just like,
yes!
Yay!
This is how it's done, people. So, anyways.
We're telling
Thanks,
this
Sarah.
story because I'm always like, why do we have to tell people what we're about to do?
So today.
And then my idol was like, so we have to tell people what we're about to do.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Good moment for all of us.
I hate that. Hate it when you're right.
We love that you utilize the comment section.
Too.
Hi, Lauren. So good to have you with us here this morning. So part of why we use this format is so that we can engage with you and you can engage with us. Hi, Nancy. So glad that you're with us here from Naperville, Illinois. Naper?
Yeah.
Naperville.
That's like,
Oh, really? You probably didn't hear that because his mic isn't currently sending, but Ben has played a show in Naperville. Yeah, speaking of Ben and Karen and Matthew, we're going to do some songs.
Anissa's going to sit on the big green couch.
Anissa is going to join us later for collective conversation. I've got some words I want to share with you about some things rattling up here in the old noodle. Get your communion elements ready, whatever you have on hand.
A noodle rattle.
Anything you want to add to this, your favorite part of the morning?
To my favorite part
Uh-huh.
of the morning?
Yeah.
Love y'all. Glad you're here.
Good.
My favorite people are broken. Believe me, my heart should know. Orphan believers, skeptical dreamers, step forward. You can stay right here, don't have to go. Favorite people are broken. Well, believe me, my heart should know. Orphan believers, skeptical dreamers, step forward. You can stay right. You don't It's so hard to lift yourself up off the ground. Yeah, but the poet says we must praise the mutilated world. Oh yeah, we're all working the same graveyard shift. You might as well sing along, sing along, sing along, 'cause all my favorite people are broken. Won't you believe me? My heart should know. As for your tender heart, yeah, this world's gonna rip me wide open. I'm sorry, baby, it ain't gonna be pretty, but you're not alone. No, you're not. Oh, 'cause all my favorite people are broken. Won't you believe me? My heart should know. Orphan believers, skeptical dreamers, you're welcome. You can stay right here. You don't have to go. Won't you believe me? 'Cause I should know. Some prayers are better left unspoken. I just wanna hold you and let the rest go. Let it roll. Let it go.
I'm going to read this prayer out loud for us this morning. The words will be on the screen, and I just invite you to join in a moment of grounding. You can close your eyes if you want, or just take some deep breaths with me, and we'll pray together. Gracious and holy God, we gather this morning, opening to your healing power. We do not understand all the things that make us whole, nor the mystery of all that cripples us in body, mind, and spirit. But we do know this, that the presence of Christ, the hidden wholeness coursing through your wondrous universe, weaves from the dropped threads of unfinished lives, a fabric of unmatched beauty. We come this morning seeking less to understand this healing source than to open ourselves to its sacred flow, released in us through the simple act of gathering, singing, praying, and holding one another and our beautiful, broken planet in your love. Amen.
When you are tired, when you are alone, when peace is a river that's distant and cold, There in the mist, there on the wind, there like a promise is where you begin. Water and fire, quiet my soul. Look to the mountains, be still and know. All you will need, all that you own is water and fire, is heaven home. When you are away, when you are alone, and joy is a fountain, weary to flow. There on the desert, there in the deep, there like the sacred, dark secrets to you. Water and fire, quiet my soul. Look to the mountains, be still and know. All you will need, all that you own is water and fire, is heaven home. Water and fire, quiet my soul. Look to the mountains, be still and know. All you need, all that you own is water and fire, is heaven home. If love is an ocean, and all that I own, lead and I'll follow. Where you go, I'll go.
Hello. I'm here. Okay, but this happens every time.
Okay, I know.
I just like spin chair and I'm like, oh, hi.
You try to stay and you just watch your body go.
Am I doing it right?
Yes. Yes, you
Oh, I
are.
don't know.
You're going to want to dig deep in there.
I'm going to.
You're going to want to dig deep.
What if I just go to the bottom?
Yep.
Does that work? Yes. And then
Unless that's where I've been putting.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well.
We don't have a very organized system here at.
We'll go from the
Grace Collective.
we'll shuffle and pick from the middle. Ooh. That was weird.
I kind of want them to know what the question
I'm
was.
just gonna tell you, but we're not doing this one. The last person who pushed me over the edge was no one has time for that. We're not the mood I'm going for today. Something I believe but haven't said out loud.
We've done that one before. It's been a long time, but we have done it.
Well,
People, you know what people just kept saying over and over again? There's a reason I don't say it out loud.
oh, that's funny. That's fair.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
fine.
all of them that
My
try to
word.
get that are.
Okay, how about this one? Today I care a lot less about.
I like that a lot.
Today I care a lot less about.
Have we?
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
remember this one at all.
It's fine. It's a good one.
Maybe I wasn't.
Is that okay? Can we do it? I didn't do it. Today I care a lot less.
Can we do it?
I didn't do it. So, I don't know. Do I have to go first? Today I care about. Yeah, since I'm the one that is. So many things. I don't know where I'm looking. There we are. Didn't know where to look. I care a lot less
Welcome.
about
I never
so
know.
many things, including what other people
including this?
think.
Yes.
Mostly just like what other people think. That's probably like my biggest one.
Period.
But like what most,
That's what other people are answering.
yeah, what people
Yep.
think of me.
Yep. Everybody
Yeah.
is like, what other people think? What other people think?
I used to care so much about what other people thought. So there's that.
So much. So much caring.
Oh, you want to know one that's not like really deep? I used to care, today I care a lot less about finishing books that I started but don't like.
Oh, you can do that now? You
I
can let it
can.
go, really?
I can. It's new.
Can you teach me that skill? I'm really bad at that. I'm like, must keep watching this terrible show that I hate, or
no.
must keep reading this terrible book that I don't like.
I used to, because I really enjoy reading, I just was like, I can plow through it and finish it. I hate this. And then I could just be like, I thought that was terrible. But now I'm like, oh, I think this is terrible. I'm going to stop.
Colby, I would like you to care more about that, not less.
What?
What is it?
Colby cares much less about how much BO he's.
I care very much about this. I would like you to keep caring.
Listen, it's hot, so it's fine.
Your voice is gonna stink, and sometimes
It just happens. About changing people's minds.
That's cool. We
Yeah.
can practice space.
We're not going to change your mind about Colby's BO, probably though.
Today I care less about the space.
What is that true?
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. We'll get Colby some deodorant. And what else is everyone saying? People have been meaning to talk to you about your BO. Let's see. Oh yeah, breaking up with books, Michelle. Yes, I'm going to keep doing that. I mean, I want to find books I
Karen's
love.
on the
Though.
screen being good at things I've literally never tried to do before. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. No.
I like that, Jazz. Me too, actually. Doing self-care right. Lately, I'm just like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you can be slow and unproductive, watch TV for a while. Trust yourself that you'll find the joy. Follow
What is
the joy.
happening with these questions? These are some.
Ooh, I like that, Lauren.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, Lauren. Yes. With you.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Colby does this on the internet. Oops, that's not the one I touched. Why? There we go. Proving to members of our last church that I'm still a Christian, even though I left that church.
Yeah, about that.
You can just think whatever you want to think.
That's good. Good stuff.
Oh, y'all make me laugh.
Are you ready for another one?
Yes.
I've always wondered if it's normal to. Sorry. It's funny because I've always wondered if it's normal to make faces at yourself in the mirror, like when you're like talking, like to, yeah, I don't know. I do it a lot. I still do it. Or I just watch myself say things. And
Yeah, to see like what you look like to other people.
yeah, to see what I look.
Communicating.
Exactly. Yes. Also, I just kind of
my
like,
face conveying what I think it's conveying.
yes, mine it never is. But, oh, well, maybe sometimes it is.
I used to wonder if it was
My
normal
face
to
is
rehearse
broken.
Conversations in the car, but it is normal.
It is normal to rehearse
Oh, yeah.
conversations in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
To rehearse conversations
Or
everywhere.
redo them.
In your sleep.
Mm.
Have the same conversation over and over again.
Oh, Ninja Star. I don't know. We got to go back to that other question. That's pretty great.
Today,
Thinking
Caroline.
about things that are not happening currently. I don't know how to do that. It's called staying present. I don't know how to do that.
We just use air quotes and then it's fine. I have, what else? What are
To me,
people
it
saying?
still is happening.
Oh, Heidi makes faces too. Thanks, Heidi.
Also Heidi's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Heidi.
Heidi. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always
Do you
wondered
do
if
that, Shane? You talk to yourself out loud in public. I like that.
It's a very New York thing.
what?
New Yorkers just talk loud themselves all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's where Shane
You
is.
realize you're a New Yorker when you cross that line, you start talking out loud.
What are you saying out loud? I think out loud, so I'm one of those people that's like, oh yeah, like people are like, are you talking to me? I'm like, oh no, I was thinking out loud. That makes sense. But like, what are you saying? Is it just
reacting? Just because you just constantly have people in your face.
just
And so
reacting?
as people kind of walk away from the fracas, it's just like, oh my
Yes, Rachel, it's called being an Enneagram 4.
All right.
Welcome.
All right.
Yeah,
Did you see that guy?
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I just saw the comment. It was getting Grim 4 comment.
I've always wondered if it's normal to read out loud to yourself, like in like I realized this morning while reading.
Oh, this
I was
is my
like-
favorite game. Sorry, keep
Oh, you're good. What is it?
It's my favorite game to play. I wonder if it's normal to make up details about my neighbors, what they do for a living, etc., until I meet them and I'm given the real information.
Oh.
Our neighbors stopped Sojourn this past week because the car was parked out here. So
They watch services and stuff.
They watch
Just say hi to them.
Oh, hi.
Diane.
Norman Diane.
Hi, Norman, Diane.
Hi, Norman.
your letter.
Yeah.
It's a great ladder.
No.
You were starting to say something. We lost the plot.
It's fine. This happens to me all the time. I like when I'm reading a book, I realize I just want to be kind of hearing it. So I read it out loud, but like quietly. Like I'm to myself. It's fine. Never mind. And maybe it's not normal.
I read out loud to myself sometimes.
Okay.
It helps me focus. Like,
Yes.
the number of times you have to go back and reread something, it's less.
Yes. So I'll just be like, and I'm
Yeah.
whisper reading.
I actually was just sitting here thinking about all the things that I read. out
Oh,
loud.
that's how Karen edits.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Whew. Karen's helping me feel normal all the time now these days.
My whole goal.
There's Karen's goal in life.
I don't think I understand this question because I would say like,
Because we don't understand what normal is. Ben's like, I don't think I understand this question. I'm like, yeah, because what is normal? I don't know.
Susan. Yes, it's normal. I have to like, okay, I'm going to think of an answer. First thing that comes to my mind. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there with you. Just like, I don't know.
I have talked to so many people who say that they'll be like doing something way later in the day and they're like, ah, damn it. That's my collective conversation answer. So yes, very normal.
Go back to the live and just put it in. It's fine.
Oh, and Jazz says that makes you a better writer when you read out loud.
That's fair. I am a good writer.
Did anybody answer Jazz's up here? Is it normal to do that? To picture things as a color? Mm-hmm.
I know lots
Maybe
of
have
people
that.
with synesthesia stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know that it's
Again, what is normal?
usual experience.
What is normal? Do we just mean like most of us do it? Is that what we're saying when we say normal?
Sure.
Or that somebody does it somewhere?
I don't know. I can
Is
call
normal
Esther.
everybody does it or
Should
somebody?
I call Esther?
Yes, call Esther.
Somewhere.
Call Esther. Let's do one more.
All right.
Bring that up.
It's
Okay.
too soon for Matt.
I keep wanting to answer this, but we're not going to.
It's my favorite thing that's happening in life right now. It's my favorite thing that's happening.
Have we done this one? I'm sure we've done this one. Or this one. Which one? Pick one. This one or this
Matthew has too many feels about the TV show that I love so much.
one? Which one? I don't know which one.
Oh, okay.
This one or this one? That was one I was going to choose because it's funny. Go on.
I like this one.
Okay, I've forgotten how to. Colby's not.
Make normal faces.
I've forgotten how to.
Hi, Frankie.
Frankie is waving at me. I've forgotten how to. What have I forgotten? Does it work if we've forgotten how to do it?
forgotten how to forget.
Forgotten how to remember things.
Memorize phone numbers?
Oh, memorize phone numbers. Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot. Socialize in person. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the rest of us also have.
What is
Have
that?
small talk conversations with strangers.
Yeah, I've forgotten how to do that. It's much. I can't think of one. Sleep. I'm remembering how to do that. I'm remembering how to sleep.
I just remember how to say.
You're not allowed to forget how to ride a bike.
Ride a bike.
It's just like riding a bike.
I thought I forgot how to do blood draws, and then I had to do that the other day, and I was like, I didn't forget.
I never learned how to do that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm with you,
Yeah.
Michelle. And do we need to? Do we need
It's
it?
turning out to be that I don't need to.
My kids are all four obsessed with doing math for fun. Like they
So
will
is
just
Jack.
really. Oh my gosh, it's so
It's
weird. They just sit around like, this is fun. Let's test each other on math shit. And I'm like,
Have you tried to show them actual fun?
I was just gonna say that. Karen goes, have you tried to show them actual fun?
Fun?
things? I was just gonna say, do you guys know that there are things that are fun?
Would you
There
like
are
to
fun
watch TV?
things.
Salem likes to do math facts in his head, and he's like, "Hey, mom," and like just starts spouting them off. I'm like, "Hey, I'm busy. I don't have time for this child. Can we do something else? Tell me about anything else."
Anything else?
But math. Relax. Kelly,
Made me laugh, Jess.
yes, it's hard to relax. And you're also running like a crazy camp or something, so I don't know how you would relax.
Ooh, that's a fun answer.
But the kids are having
I've forgotten
fun.
how to cook meat. I've been a vegetarian for 6 years. Nice.
No, use a meat thermometer.
I'll remind you. Make sure it's the right temperature.
Colin said, and she'll not.
Colby. Yes, that is. I've forgotten how to do that
Get in
too.
touch with that. It's hard. No.
Do
Yeah.
you try to get in touch with it though?
Just like remember that you used to feel that. Yes,
Yeah.
I know exactly what. Yes, I know exactly
Like-
that feeling.
I used to sit in a Good Friday service. And just be
Oh.
Like I am so grateful.
Oh, okay. So Anissa and Colby are bonding over this. I've forgotten how
Yeah.
to be grateful that God killed his son so that he wouldn't be mad at me anymore.
Yeah, like
I'm like, why are you trying to remember?
I forgot
Because
that.
it's a weird thing to be like. I spent a lot of my life like
Yeah.
feeling deep
Yes.
gratitude about this thing that I no longer care about.
Yeah. I forgot how to make my old way of thinking make sense.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore. Does it? Yay!
Aw.
I know. My kids
Your
are having a
kids are
blast.
gay.
Shout out to Outpost. My kids have been loving it, and I have one more week.
My
Algebra.
kids all are starting to
Isn't that
next.
like,
Like algae.
Algae,
Bra.
bra, get it?
Oh, that's a good joke. Dude,
Oh,
I might have to use that one this week.
Anissa's
All right.
very happy right now. Thank
I
you for
love
that.
those
Love y'all.
jokes.
This has been
Don't cry, you're mine for forever, for forever. I need you now more than ever, more than ever. Hateful lies in my eyes, you make it easy. Don't look away, these are the days you gotta believe me. When we're lost in a desert night and we're chasing a paradise, when we can't find another fight, we're gonna make it. You're my way oasis. You're my way oasis.
This life is made for each other, for each other. Cross lines, mistakes. There's no other, there's no other. Head full of lies, sun in my eyes. You make it easy. Nowhere to go, I'm already home. You gotta believe me.
When we're lost in a desert night and we're chasing our paradise. When we can't find another fight, we're gonna make it. My way, away, oasis. You're my way, away, oasis. You're my way, away, oasis. You're my way, away, oasis. As I roam through the wasteland, you're the one thing I need. Yeah. I see you off in the distance, and you're my oasis. You're my way, away, oasis. Away, away, oasis. When we're lost in a desert night and we're chasing our paradise, when we can't fight another fight, we're gonna make it, make it, make it, make it. Lost in a desert night and we're chasing our paradise, when we can't fight another fight, we're gonna make it. You're my way, away, oasis. You're my way, away, oasis. You're my way, away, oasis. You're my way, away, oasis.
All right. Let me clear my throat. John Forte, rock the microphone, sway this. Yeah, can that fan maybe just down a little bit? It just feels a bit loud. But hey, everyone.
Hi, Colby. Hi, Colby.
That was fun. The people in the room responded. I like that. So, hang with me here. Potential quick trigger warning, but we're gonna make it through. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. We've got this. What comes up for you when you hear the phrase "love the sinner, hate the sin"?
Hell?
Calvin and Hobbes.
We've got one person said hell, one person said Calvin and Hobbes. Okay. What about the rest of you? What comes up for you when you hear this phrase, love the sinner, hate the sin?
Cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Okay.
My childhood.
Yeah. Your childhood? Okay. Anissa says her childhood. Okay. So I imagine some of these answers might resonate with some of y'all. Spiritual bypassing. Yep. Matthew says homophobia. Brooke says patronizing bull s #%T. Angry faces from Melissa. Yep. Michelle, remember to love first. Okay, so I love that. Hold on to that. Right. Our own church account had a thing to say as well. Jazz says all the muscles in my body tensing. Right. Okay. So everybody now take a deep breath with me. Let it out. I am not going to try to I can't commit to that. I cannot commit to what I was about to say. There's nothing to redeem there, but let's just hang on to that, okay? So I think at the heart of this phrase, if I give it the most charitable interpretation, which I'm not saying it even deserves, but if I give it the most charitable interpretation, I hear in this phrase a desire to try and separate a person, their identity, their humanity, from the things that they do, right, that I don't like or that I find objectionable. It's a way to say that I am trying to commit to show you love, even though I disagree with something that you've done or doing. So it is most charitable, and I think that's a sentiment, that's a posture that I think a lot of people would sign off on, which is to say, our love is not fragile. Like, we're not going to shut off the valve simply because you've done a thing that hurt me or hurt others or was in some way jacked up. So that's maybe the most charitable interpretation. But obviously, as most of us here have already attested to, this phrase has become like a caricature of itself. And it's often used as a way to justify not actually loving a person. So it gets said, love the sinner, hate the sin, oftentimes by folks who find that the sin in question is so egregious, so personally affronting, that it actually does impact whatever expression of love they think they might be offering. And so in cases like this whole, quote, hating of the sin part seems to take primary positioning, and that it actually impacts whatever the loving the sinner might look like. Okay, so let's move on from that, because that's not actually what I want to talk about. I just wanted to begin there. Everybody's still like recovering from the trauma. You're welcome. You're welcome. But I wanted to start here. I wanted to get our gears moving in a particular direction. And here's the direction. Imagine, if you will, a spectrum that attempts to organize or describe the different ways that we posture ourselves toward other people. I'm thinking about specifically like how we feel towards other people who do things that we don't like or that hurt us or that hurt others. And so on one end of the spectrum, we might put the word hate. Like this is the extreme of it, capturing the most intense posture of just hatred is I want actual harm to befall you. I want you to suffer. I have no feelings of love in my heart for you. It's a pretty extreme position. I would say most people, most of the time, don't like hang out here too often. And yet sometimes, I think the majority of people, sometimes we do have these bursts of times where we hold hate in our hearts for individuals or maybe even groups of people. So you have hate over here. And then over in the other end of the spectrum, we're going to put love. Love, which captures this most extreme position of like I want the best for you. This is beyond just romantic love. It's even beyond like deep friendship love. This is just the unconditional love of I want flourishing for you. I want wholeness. I want the most abundant life possible for you. So if hate's over here and love is over here, then maybe we could imagine a couple different stops along the way. Again, because we're trying to cast a spectrum, so it's not just one or the other. And we could go with maybe some dull categories like hate, dislike, neutral, like, love. But I want to evoke a bit more feeling and emotion out of these postures. So I'm going to go with, we got hate, and then we have reject. In the middle, we have tolerate, and then we have accept, and then we have love. And I think in terms of a spectrum like this, I think there's a lot of positive value to something like this, because it's easy for us to fall in this binary of black and white thinking where it's either love or it's hate. But there's a lot of stops along the way, and I think it can be helpful to think about things like this because it gives us a sense of like improvement or comparing and contrasting or better and best. So if you're of the conviction, and you may not be, which is fine, but if you're of the conviction that loving others is like the highest good, and yet you have these moments where you have certain people for whom you occasionally dip into hate toward, I think it can be helpful to see that you have a lot of other options to work toward without having to be like, oh, I got to figure out how to love that person. Like that can be really overwhelming. But maybe you could imagine what it would be like to just, I don't know, maybe dislike them or just reject them, right? Maybe you can sort of relax the feelings of hate and just settle into this kind of nope, can't do them, stay away. Or maybe you have some people that you are in that reject posture towards. And for you, there might be an invitation to be like, what might it look like to set down my rejection for a minute and just consider tolerating? And so you can begin to see what it looks like maybe to move along the spectrum, okay? But even in these sort of polls that I put and then the markers that I made, I think there's still spaces in between these that I want to get into for just a quick second. For example, consider the posture of acceptance. Remember, we had hate, reject, tolerate, acceptance, love. And consider how, like in a context like ours here at Sojourn, many people who have come through this community over the last 8.5 years, they have stories where they were accepted by their previous church or accepted by their family, but it clearly wasn't enough, right? It didn't cut it after a while. Acceptance. Think about the many churches, for example, who accept those who identify as LGBTQ. Yes, of course, all are welcome here. We accept everybody. But then you read the fine print and you discover, well, I mean, unless you like maybe want to be on staff or be in leadership or even sing in the choir, and you definitely couldn't get married here. But yeah, we accept everybody here. And you can begin to see how acceptance, yes, is better than tolerance and better than rejection, but there's still like some ground to cover past acceptance on your way to love. So I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. So here's why I brought all of this up so far. I've been talking about this spectrum here with regards to how we feel toward others, the posture that we hold toward those who we don't like or who do things that we strongly disagree with, whatever. And now just for a moment, turn this spectrum, relabel the categories on your x-axis down here. Did I just drop some algebra into the message? Algebra. Instead of how we feel about others, let's retitle this as how we feel about ourselves. And even more specifically, how we feel about the ways that we show up in the world, how we act, how we behave, the patterns that we fall into, and all of it. I want you to think of all of it, the ones that we're really proud of and the ones maybe not so much. My sense is, or maybe it's just projection, so maybe if you're anything like me, you might kind of like low-key have this tendency to practice love the sinner, hate the sin toward yourself, which is to say you consider the ways in which you wound other people or cause harm to others, how you let people down, or even how you let yourself down. And then when you reflect on those moments, you reflect on when you do that in life, and you think about the ways that you really miss the mark and really bring about suffering to people that you really care about, I think many of us instinctively go to hate the sinning. I can't believe I did that. I hate that I did that. And then just like I said a minute ago, typically that posture makes it so that hating the sin informs how we feel about the sinner. So it's not just, why did I do that again? It's, why did I do that again? I'm such an idiot. I can't do anything right. I'm such a loser. How we doing? Doing okay? Is this hitting home? So we lie to that one friend because being honest with them feels way too scary. And then later we berate ourselves for chickening out once again. And we hate that we lied to them, which then leads us to not feel good about ourselves. Or we notice that we've been doom scrolling on our phones for hours, stuck in this endless cycle of pessimism and despair. Or we let ourselves once again get swept into these narratives that everyone else's life is going great. Their relationships are banging. They have more than enough money. And we just watch as the envy and the self-pity wash over us. And we shake our heads in disgust that we are just once again so weak in mind and spirit. Or whatever your particular vice might be, whatever patterns you fall into that tend to bring suffering to yourself and others, what is your initial reaction, your initial response when you do that thing? And here's what I'm getting at. So if you've been around Sojourn for a while, then you hopefully have picked up on the fact that the concept of wholeness is really important around here. And the phrase, "it all belongs," is pretty meaningful to us. But this phrase, "it all belongs," this is not just some nifty catchphrase that makes us feel better when things go wrong. Of course, it's helpful to just laugh it off, be like, "Oh, it all belongs, yay." But it's way deeper than that. Because in order for something to belong, it needs to, well, belong. Which means it isn't rejected. It isn't shamed. It isn't asked to be something other than what it is. Belonging can only happen when there is safety to just be. So when I do something wrong, when I muck things up, if I truly believe that it all belongs, then that must therefore mean that I extend belonging even to that thing that I did or said. And by extension, I must grant belonging to the part of me that did that. Again and again and again. When I go back to the spectrum that I laid out a few minutes ago, what I'm discovering is that, yeah, I'm getting better and better at not hating myself, at not hating the parts of me that bring suffering to myself and others. But I'm not super convinced I've made a ton of progress along the spectrum other than that. Maybe put more clearly, I think that even in my best moments with regards to my worst moments, oftentimes the best I can do is like tolerate that part of me. Just tolerate that part of me. No, it's not my favorite thing about me. Yes, I wish I was better. I wish I did better. Tolerate. Hey, I can at least understand why I did what I do. I can see the why behind my actions, and that really does help create space for tolerating that. And we've said this around Sojourn for years, that people are the way they are for a damn good reason. It's a great saying. It's essentially toleration. I'm tolerating the fact that I manipulate people that I love. I'm tolerating the fact that I defend my ego with disturbing consistency. I need that on a t-shirt. I tolerate how I can spin out with anxiety around all sorts of things. I tolerate it. And I think over the past couple of years, maybe through therapy and through good self-work, I've been able to move a little bit in some of these areas, some of the times from tolerate to acceptance, which is not nothing. A kind of acceptance. I stop beating myself up so much. I stop shaming myself as often. I can just be like, hey, you know that like in your heart, you're good. You're just fighting years and years of patterns, and you're fighting through trauma, and you've got a lot working against you. But you know what? We don't actually want to kick you off the island anymore, Colby. You can stay. Acceptance. And that is better than tolerance. But I don't think it's enough. And I don't say that in like a shamey way. Right? Oh, I'm not good enough. I just say that because, like I mentioned a minute ago, acceptance doesn't create the necessary conditions for belonging. Acceptance doesn't create the necessary conditions for belonging. So I'm actually not really practicing it all belongs to myself. Rather, I'm saying that all the parts of me that I like, that I do well, those belong. And then I just accept the other stuff. I accept shadow side. And this is what I want to leave us with today. I want to put one more click in between acceptance and love. One more goal, one more aspiration, one more thing to look at as like improving and moving along in this spectrum. And it's the word embrace. Embrace. To go back to the illustration of queer people in the church, ask any one of them, and they'll tell you there is a world of difference between acceptance and embrace. Embrace pulls in. Embrace creates safety. Embrace doesn't ask for anything other than what is. Embrace holds, and it nurtures, and it cares. I had to look it up yesterday, but the order of the belt colors for karate traditionally goes white, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, red, brown, and black. And you don't get to skip steps. You can't go from white to green or from purple to black. They build on top of each other. Many of you know that I recently turned 40, which has been a pretty significant point in my life. And when it comes to wholeness, the thing that we're so passionate about here at Sojourn, I don't know what belt I'm on, but I feel like the older I get, the more suspicious that I've made it past anything other than like green or maybe blue, but honestly, not as far along as I think. And for me, this realization that I've had fairly recently, that I've kind of been maxing out at just accepting my shadow side, which again is clearly better than rejection and even tolerance. Again, I'm not hating or shaming myself. I'm just saying I've got more room for growth in me as I learn to love myself by embracing all the parts of me. Because wholeness means that we embrace our highs and our lows. Wholeness means we embrace our successes and our failures. Wholeness means we embrace the things that delight us about ourselves and the things that can push us into despair. And here's another thing that is true. Loving the sinner and embracing the sin doesn't mean that we just don't have to stop doing the things that bring suffering. Of course we do. Of course we do. This is a lie that I think the church and culture tells us, is that if we move into this embracing posture, then we're just saying, oh, well, then it's fine that I do those things. No, this is not the point. Of course, we should want to stop doing the things that bring harm and suffering to ourselves and others, of course. But friends, lean in here a minute. Please don't forget this. People don't change. We don't change through shame or judgment or condemnation. That's not the path to change. If there's a shadow side of us that we don't like, if there are things that we do that we wish we didn't, we ain't changing those things by beating ourselves up about it, okay? It's just not how it works. Absolutely not how it works. So, sometimes I have this trick. I have this trick that I do. I have this trick that I go to when I've done something that I regret. There's this trick that I have when I've hurt someone that I deeply care about. And the trick is this. I tell myself what a piece of garbage I am. I tell myself I am the worst. I'm a total loser. And then after doing that for a bit, I can more easily accept that, well, yeah, of course I did the thing that the person said that I did that hurt them. Of course, because that's what a terrible person would do. And I'm a terrible person. So I can stop arguing. I can stop getting defensive. I can just be like, oh yeah, I did do that thing. Yeah, obviously, I'm sorry. And then I can move into a posture of an apology for what I did. Oh, did I forget to say this is not a good trick? Sorry, I feel like I didn't mention that. This is not a good trick. Nope, not a good trick. It's kind of like how people say, hey, if you're hungover, just like have a Bloody Mary. Like just keep drinking. It works, I guess. But like, we're all pretty clear that this isn't a sustainable solution, right?
Yes.
So now in my life, what I'm practicing instead, rather than this old trick that I use, rather than moving to a place of self-hatred as this shortcut for getting to this place of owning my mistakes so that I can move into a place of change and growth and transformation, I'm now practicing embracing myself, even embracing the things I've done or said that brought harm. Not because I think it's fine that I did them, just the opposite, in fact. I don't ever want to do them again. But I know that the path to change, I know that the path to growth, I know that the path to wholeness, aka salvation, what up, Bible geeks? That path, it runs through It All Belongs. And that's going to require embracing those parts of me that I don't particularly like. St. Paul once said to the Christians in Rome, do you not realize, have you all forgotten that it's the goodness, it's the kindness of God that leads to transformation? It's the kindness of God that leads to growth. It's the kindness of God that leads to change. So may we be people who identify where on this spectrum of love we tend to hang out when it comes to how we feel about ourselves. And may we have, I might say, the courage and the curiosity to try and move to the next click so that we might more and more embody this spirit of it all belongs, so that we might one day taste the glory of what it means to be whole. I'm going to invite musicians to come up and share a song that, Karen, I believe you wrote this song, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I had some.
Yes. Okay. Karen and others. Awesome. All right. Thank you.
I bless the way you hold your tongue. You find the room you're in, just ain't a listening one. I bless the way you change your mind. When you find the thoughts you're holding are the healing kind. I bless the way you close the door. The house that used to hold you isn't shelter anymore. I bless the way you leave behind. You know there's something good out there you gotta go and find. Don't you let anyone turn you around. Now you know getting lost is the way you get found. Is the way you get found. I bless the courage in your doubt, the stubborn way you chase the truths you haven't figured out. I bless the patience in your grave, when it's pushing you to rise and when it's pulling you beneath. I bless the way you carve your name, the gate kept into sanctums where they said you couldn't stay. I bless the way you make a home, wild and in the weary, in the precious white unknown. Don't you let anyone turn you around. Now you know getting lost is the way you get found. Don't you let anyone turn you around. Is the way you gave found. Is the way you gave found.
Hopefully you grabbed yourself some elements so that you could partake in communion with us.
From the scientific table of elements.
From what up, magnesium?
That's the one you went to?
Yeah, I don't know why. That's just the one that came to mind really quick. Yeah, this is a tradition that the church has been practicing in many different ways for 2,000 years. And unfortunately, it has been used as a way to exclude. It has been used as a way to keep people on the outside. It has been used as a way to sort of centralize power. And I think those are all things that at least the original folk, when they were inspired by Jesus, were like, no, this whole idea of table fellowship is like about equalizing humanity and bringing every people on the same level and sharing what we have with others. So that's part of what we try to do here at Sojourn with this ritual, this tradition. So grab whatever you have on hand. And as we've said now for 2.5 years during this virtual format, it's not about the elements. It's not about the right kind of bread or the right kind of wine or juice or whatever it is. These are not the points. So we've got a That's It bar. It's just apples and blueberries in this mini fruit bar.
That's it.
That's it. That is it.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it.
Take and receive.
We've got 2 Earl Greys. That's fun.
A roll. It lingers in the teeth, don't it?
It does linger in your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It stays a while. I'm embracing it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
I
tolerating
really
it.
love this conversation that's happening, pulling apart your message. It's really great.
Oh, good.
And Jazz, I just think you did a whole entire second sermon right here, and I want to highlight it and have everyone read it, please.
Okay, great. So if you're on YouTube, there's some
Grab Jazz's
convo on
comments.
Facebook. Go over and maybe afterwards check it out. But yeah, I mean, even there's tension in this, right? There's tension. It's paradox. Paradox is the path of enlightenment. Karen just sang it.
Both and.
Don't you know getting lost is the way to get found? Huh?
Paradox is the way to paradise.
Oh boy.
Are we doing?
Ooh, you like that one?
I swiveled around for a high five.
Yeah,
didn't
so
I?
clearly that made an impact.
Yes, one more song. One more song. Close us out here. Close us out, y'all.
Gladly.
I love it when Kate's like, nope. The time has come.
Would you believe me now if I told you I got caught up in a wave? I almost gave it away. Will you hear me out if I told you I was terrified for days? I thought I was gonna break. Oh, couldn't stop it, tried to slow it all down. Crying in the bathroom, trying to figure it out. With everyone around me saying, you must be so happy now. Oh, if you keep reaching out, I'll keep coming back. If you're gone for good, then I'm okay with it. Yeah, yeah. If you leave a light on, I'll leave a light on. Light on, light on, light on. I am finding out there's just no other way that best intentions, babe. I always wanted to stay. Can you feel me now? That I'm vulnerable in oh so many ways. Oh, and I'll never change. Said, oh, I couldn't stop it. Tried to figure it out, but everything kept moving. The noise got too loud, with everyone around me saying, you should be so happy now. Oh, you keep reaching out, then I'll keep coming back. If you're gone for good, then I'm okay with it. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on, yeah. Light on. I am finding out there's just no other way, and I'm still dancing at the end of the day. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. And I'm okay with it. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on, light on. 'Cause I am finding out there's just no other way, and I'm still dancing at the end of the day. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. End of service. It says end of service.
But wait.
Susan was doing some chair dancing, she said there. Some serious chair dancing. Is that like this?
Oh, speaking of chair dancing,
Get it? Serious?
one of my old piano students is in the Commonwealth Games.
I don't know what you
The
said.
Commonwealth Games is like the Olympics, but just for all the people in the Commonwealth. You know, all the people in the UK conquered.
What is the word?
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth. I know the word now.
They lose the middle syllables go away sometimes.
What is the
So
Commonwealth?
the Commonwealth is all the people that the UK conquered and then brought into the
It's all
Commonwealth.
the bits of the UK
So
that aren't
Canada,
in the UK.
Australia, Jamaica. What's that?
Yeah.
Well, one of my students was a piano student. She's in a wheelchair, and she was doing shot put for Australia in the Commonwealth Games this week.
That's neat.
Is awesome and
Yeah.
also took a long time to
Yeah.
Can you come up here so that my head's not blocking you when you talk?
Or you sit down.
I didn't want Colby to be all alone.
Thank you, Crystal. Peace and love to everyone. Right, Michelle? Weren't the songs just wonderful this week? And it was
Matthew
good to
picked all
have
of
the
the songs
crew all back together. Y'all have been scattered.
No, I didn't. Y'all picked Light On.
Oh wait, that's
And
true.
y'all picked Water and Fire.
Okay, we all chose the songs together.
It was a GE, man. A General Electric.
Group effort. Can we all just applaud the dress, please?
I don't know that people saw the dress because the lyrics bar was covering the.
I'm
But it's.
so obsessed. I'm so obsessed with this whole look.
Coloration is beautiful.
I'm gonna steal it.
I love it too.
Thankfully, we share a home, and I will just sneak in your closet.
It's the first dress that I've ever felt like worked
It's
on
so
my
good.
body as it is.
WERKT.
So good.
That.
Serving the Lord.
Okay.
Are
We
doing,
have,
like-
we have straight up silly puttied this moment.
Are we doing like house notes or something? What are we doing?
No?
No.
Oh well. Can I make everyone yell it just
House
just for
notes.
fun?
It's just
House
benediction
notes.
time.
We don't have any.
Karen just
I
wanted
just
that
wanted
to
to see
happen.
everybody yell. I like the faces.
Oh, and then it went to a Sojourn
meditation.
meditation. So
Oh,
that's what we're doing now.
Sorry, I screwed everything up, guys.
Pavlov
I'm gonna-
response. I
I'm
see
gonna
meditation. I
embrace
take a deep breath
this
in.
part of me. You're okay.
This has been a train wreck this end. I think I might just walk off.
We've got our first walk off.
Y'all can make this end at any point.
Oh,
by,
sure, Michelle.
by doing
Yeah.
The beep.
We can do that. Woo!
Oh yeah. Woo!
Yes, we do have that. Yes, if you would like to participate in this mission of wholeness,
You may.
to do so via financial contributions, please. SojournGrace.com/donate or Venmo at Sojourn Grace. Thanks, Michelle. I would have forgotten about that.
Feel free.
All right, let's go to our brave kind.
See the bottom there?
Sojourn's weekly benediction. This is the thing we say at the end of every service as a challenge, invitation to go into your weeks with bravery because you are a loved child of God. Nothing can take that from you. And then also to have kindness because everyone else also loves a child of God. So if you will lead, Jazz, thank you. Here we're going. Because you're a child of God. I always like hearing how people will inflect that.
Laura was right on
Oh,
it.
good job, Laura. Add to broadcast. Because so is everyone else. Love you.
So long.
Have good weeks.
Bye.
Especially those of you who are going back to school already. How is it already that time?
I don't like that.
Do you have kids? When's your kid go back to school?
The end of August.
Okay,
Very
so you
end.
got some time.
Yeah, like when they should go back to school.
We've got one starting this week and then like one the next week and then some the next week. Like all of August is staggered.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
Should we turn this off, do you think?
No, we're going to leave the light on.
Oh, that's neat.
For like through lunch, are you thinking?
We're going to just through the whole teardown. The mics are going to be hot and you're going to see everything. You're going to hear everything. Yeah.
We're deconstructing the service.
It feels
Why? Is it just
risky.
No,
Like
just because I haven't closed it yet.
Is this a choice?
Yes.
Yeah. He's doing.
For moments like that.
This is what he's doing.
We're all
I don't know
just
what these buttons do, but I'm gonna find the off button, y'all.
See if you can do it. There's one that's called End Video. I don't know if it works though. It didn't work 2 weeks ago. You want to try it?
This is the show that doesn't end. Oh, it goes on and on. My friends, be brave, be kind.
People started streaming it, not knowing.
He turns the light off.
Hey, you did not leave the light on. Light off, light. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. We gotta go do that. Can we end this? Colby, how do we
Yeah,
end
it's still
it?
going. Try the End Video button.
Which one?
Not working?
No.